So this is teaching for women. So tomorrow is the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday. We're to let the day dawn in our heart. It's a more sure way of prophecy. We are the children of the light. We're not the children of darkness. The children of darkness are drunken in the nights, who sleep in the nights, right? 1 Thessalonians 5. We're to keep the fourth commandments as Jehovah has commanded us to keep it. Deuteronomy 5. We're to remember it as Jehovah has commanded us to remember it. Exodus 20. For he made it a perpetual covenant, a sign between him and his people. Exodus 31, 16 through 18. His son refreshed the covenant at Horeb, what was prophesied by the prophets. Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19. Isaiah 42:21, giving us the two magnified commandments in Matthew 22:36 through 40, where the law hangs on it, and sin is the transgression of the law. Yeshua quoted Deuteronomy chapter 6. The 10 Commandments will be your righteousness, also a sign between him and his children. Write them on the 10 Commandments on your hand for a sign. And Hebrews 4, verse 9, there remains a rest to the people of Jehovah. That rest in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 9 is Sabbath. There remains a Sabbath to the people of Jehovah. And you can't enter into his eternal rest if you have unbelief. And those who had unbelief in Hebrews 3 are the ones who sinned, who were disobedient, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness. And sin is the transgression of the law. The law hangs on Yeshua's commandments. Therefore, there remains a rest, because his son refreshed the holy covenants, the covenants at Horeb in Deuteronomy 5. So read Nehemiah chapter 10:30. We are not to buy or sell on the Sabbath. We are not to work on the Sabbath. We are to turn our foot away from doing our personal pleasures and call Jehovah's Sabbath a delight. Isaiah 56 and Isaiah 58. And for the day dawning, Jehovah worked during the day. His son was his first creation. He said, let there be light. He created Yeshua. He separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day. We were created in their image. We are to be the children of the light, children of the day, not children of the darkness. And he worked during the day. And then a transition of time, evening came and then morning came, evening into the night, and then morning came for one day, the completion of one day, 24 hours. And it repeats itself over and over in Genesis. And the end of Genesis 1, he created man in their image during the day, then evening came, then morning came for the completion of 6-day chapter break. That means the seventh day began in the morning when the 6th day ended. And if it were to repeat itself, instead of working during the day, he rested during the day, then evening would come, then morning would come for the 7th day, dawn to dawn. And Exodus chapter 16, Moses instructed them to gather twice the amount of manna on the 6th day in preparation for the 7th day. And then he says, tomorrow, M-O-R-R-O-W, is the Sabbath to the Lord. If you look up morning in the Strong's Concordance, it tells you it's morrow, M-O-R-R-O-W. Tomorrow, morning, is the Sabbath to the Lord thy God. And if you look in Matthew 28, The Marys kept the Sabbath by the commandment when they prepared the herbs, and I think that's somewhere in Luke. I can't remember where. But when they came to the tomb in Matthew 28, it was yet dark, right before it was going to dawn, towards the first day of the week, because the new day begins at dawn. And Yeshua had already risen. He rose on the Sabbath. That is why he's Lord of the Sabbath. Jehovah had his son heal on the Sabbath, because you get healing on the Sabbath. He blessed the Sabbath day. He hallowed it. So come join us for the Sabbath. Get healing on the Sabbath. Enter into covenants. Keep the commandments. The 2 commandments Yeshua told us that we are to keep, that Jehovah will require of us in Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19. Become his peculiar people, zealous of good works, by taking hold of the 2 covenants of promise spoken of in Ephesians 2, the covenants at Horeb, and the Noah covenant to eat clean in Genesis 6 through 9. For the Gentiles in Acts 15, we're to start out with refraining from idolatry and fornication, the things that make you blind and deaf spiritually. Psalms 115, 135. That's your Jeremiah 10 Christmas, your Jeremiah 7 Easter, Queen of Heaven. Your crucifixes, your Star of David, your idolatry that makes you deaf, dumb, and blind. Refrain from that, and then go in, and then refrain from things strangled in the blood, the Noah covenant in Genesis 6 through 9, verse 4. We are not to eat the blood therein. The rainbow covenant still remains, Isaiah 65 and 66. Those that are sanctifying themselves in their own righteousness, that fill their vessels with swine's flesh and broth of abominable things, are smoke in Jehovah's nose that burns all day, and he is going to consume them when he returns with fire to plead with all flesh. And nothing abominable will be entering into the kingdom. Revelations 21. So come join us, learn truth, enter into covenants so you can become his peculiar people, zealous unto good works. For the grace of God in Titus 2 teaches you to deny ungodliness, sin, breaking of the commandments, and worldly lust, so you can live soberly and righteously, keeping the righteousness of God in Deuteronomy chapter 6, the 10 commandments, in this present world. So he can abide with you, what he told you in Matthew 14, and the disciples told you this in Acts 5:32. So come join us on his Sabbath day, his holy day of rest.